Welcome class. Today we're going to talk a little bit about graphing in Excel. I compiled some data about temperatures in Florida. We're going to use that data to look at how Excel can create some easy graphs for you. Here are today's objectives. Today you will learn how to create an Excel graph that matches provided data. Where do I start? That's such a fantastic question. When we look at data and graphing, you want to make sure that your Excel data is prepared. So if you look on the bottom, you'll see that there is a set of data A through G, and then it goes 1 to 11. It's really 10 to 11, okay? So you want to make sure that your data is entered properly into an Excel spreadsheet. And then we're going to go ahead and copy that data, okay? You want to make sure that you highlight all of the columns that you want to use. So if you wanted to just focus maybe on, in our data, for example, January and February, you would just highlight those two columns of data. You wouldn't worry about the rest. For our purposes today, we're going to start by highlighting everything. So January through June, 1 through 11. And then we're going to go to Insert. So it's the third tab in, and then I want to take a look at recommended graphs or charts. Sorry, this is a great tool that Excel has included that you can use to view the recommended graphs based on the data that you have provided. Okay, so here's one of the graphs that Excel created for me. This is a line graph. It really does a great job of showing the temperature trends for the first 6 months of the last 10 years. And it really is very clear. We can see the temperatures on this axis, 0 through 90. And then we have the dates across the bottom, 2008 to 2017. And then the months are color coded. Okay, so you can see how the months trends change over time. Or a little bit, if you look at the month of April, it kind of stays the same. It's very consistent. So this line graph really does a great job of sort of portraying the trends and how the trend looks over the course of the 10 years. This cluster column graph shows another great example of really breaking down the different temperatures in each year. So again, the months in the legend are color coded, and we have the dates across the bottom axis, and going up we have the temperatures. And you can literally see the 6-month temperature changes in every year. And easily with the color coding, you can kind of see if the trends are the same depending on what month it is. So this is I really like this particular graph because I feel like it again does a good job of portraying that data. This is again is a cluster column. Here is a scatter plot, and what I did here was just looked at June. I thought this was a really interesting month because here in Florida it tends to be the hottest. So if you look at this cluster chart, you can see that how the temperatures vary from year to year, okay? And it kind of does it in 2-year increments, okay? So we did a 10-year study, and so you can see each dot represents one, and the axis on the bottom just goes in 2-year increments. And then we can see the temperatures from top to bottom in June. So there's really nothing lower than the 80s. And really nothing higher than 84. Please remember that's an average. So if you were in Florida, you'd be like, wait a minute, it's way hotter than that. Okay. Some of the really cool things that you can do is customize these. So if you look on that right hand side, you'll see that I clicked on the plus, and you can look at the chart elements. It has the accesses, access titles, chart titles, data labels, error bar, guidelines, legend, and a trend line. You can add all of these things and really customize, and these are available. These tools are available in every single one of the different charts and graphs that Excel offers, okay? Something else you can do is change the color. I liked the blue. I think it stood out well for our circumstances. So I wouldn't necessarily have changed it here, but you can select any color that you would prefer. Here's just another graph that I thought this one was pretty cool. This is a 3D line chart. For this particular data, this is a great chart to visualize those temperature changes, right? And just kind of add a little bit of boldness to your chart. So we have the months across the bottom. On this axis, we have the dates, and then on the other side, we have the temperatures, okay? And then, of course, again, we have the year. Here we have the years are color-coded. So that's a little bit different than the other graphs. This one is actually has the years being color-coded. So what I would like you to do now is I'm attaching the Excel sheet with the temperature averages for Florida, and I would like you to take a couple minutes and try this on your own. Play around with the graphs that are offered, and also play around with the graphs that are not offered. There's pie charts there, as scatter line, there's all kinds of charts in there and graphs that you can take a look at. So I want you guys to take some time, use the Excel sheet, and play around and see what you come up with. Thank you guys for joining me today. As always, please reach out with any questions, concerns, or comments. Thanks, class.